There is your next car to enter the track. That is Modena, the hybrid power unit. UMD, meanwhile, settled into a rhythm. There is the roar in the background there of the Modena car as they set off, looking very, very quick. We will inevitably get our first pass of the day, undoubtedly. Remember 2 years ago, one of those passes went very wrong and we had one almighty collision between Coventry and Staffordshire. All mended though.
Their last lap,
it's all good.
is a 1:31. Oh no, it's a 1:23.5, so they improved yet again.
They are improving very consistently, are UMD. You're on board with Modena on the stream. If you're watching from Cops, you can see it all happening.
The hybrid one, don't forget the internal combustion one. They were the one that did well in acceleration and in the sprint as well, scoring some decent points for that team. It's going to be an intense battle between themselves and Oxford Brooks for the overall championship.
They may not have managed to complete sprint, but my days are they looking planted. I want to see this. I want to see what this time is going to be from the hybrid of Modena. They come round the final corner and across the line. What is the time going to be? It is a 1:08. The fastest time we've seen so far, undoubtedly.
They made it a lot further than yesterday. I think they made it halfway through the circuit and then their car just stopped. So a lot better from them. They must have fixed the problem overnight and into the morning, and they got their car together. So well done to the Modena team.
Oh, hello, hang on. I think we've spoken too soon.
Oh, no.
No. Oh, my days. I cannot believe what I am seeing here. Headbutting against the headrest is the driver from Modena. The hybrid has stopped, and I don't believe what I'm seeing. UMD carrying on their way. Now, you can see the onboard footage on the stream. Where have Modena stopped? You can see the yellow flags. They've got 60 seconds to restart. Do the hybrid team from Italy. You can see them there, parked on the right-hand side of that first slalom. UMD crawling past, just trying to squeeze through the gap. Absolute heartbreak for a team that were looking so promising with a time of 1:08 on their first lap, but where's the power gone when they need it most?
Oh, they got going again.
They've got going again.
That is brilliant.
Drama already here on Crop's Corner. And I think that's a team member there just trying to work out what's going on. The media member of the Modena team had his hands on his head and then raised them when he saw the car continue. And now we've got another pass to come because UMD came past whilst Modena had no power. Modena have got all the power now and they are a lot faster, so we've got our first overtake to come. But that overtaking zone is not going to be anytime soon. Modena have got to follow behind UMD until they get to the blue overtake. They've got to go round that hairpin, and that's going to slow them right down. Not to mention, of course, they lost power for a fair old while, just managed to get it within the 60 seconds. UMD pull through, Modena go past, no drama there. Modena looking very quick, but clearly that power unit isn't as consistent as they need it to be.
Yeah, and I think they've got to take a bit more cautious probably in two laps time potentially to make sure that they can get their car to the end, because if you don't finish and if you don't restart in 60 seconds, then that's your car out of it. And it's better to finish than not, because decent points are on offer and it could make a difference on whether you get into the top 10 or not, because there may be certain teams that want to get some more points after them doing so well in the static events that took place yesterday. A few awards were presented about those last night with the AI class as well. Shout out to Warwick, I believe, as well. They were the first AI team to get through scrutineering as well, so nice to see some more AI teams getting out there as well.
Best of luck, SAF's uni today from Matty and Sue, says Matthew Holford. A team that seemingly didn't need luck until just now are Modena. The Italians looking so in control. Look at how fast this is. The team coming around the corner now to complete yet another lap. The time 1:09, not quite on their best of 1:08, but we know that car is very quick, but also a little loose in its consistency. Meanwhile, UMD come across the line to complete their next lap. The time. Lap 7, 1:24.56. It's a second shy of their best time. They've completed 7 laps thus far. They're on their 8th. UMD, the German team, calm, collected, efficient, no drama from them at all. You're on board with them on the stream now, weaving through that first slalom up towards the hairpin. The electric car nice and consistent here.
Sometimes it's bad to be consistent and not be too fast and be fast and maybe the power unit can go or something like that. So I think that what UMD is doing is very smart. I think they're just happy they got through scrutineering in the first place. As we've got Modena, who came up to the line for their last lap. 1:07. 1:07, their fastest lap time.
But they did hit a cone, and it's knocked over, so that will be a penalty for Modena, who are just rapid. Meanwhile, it's Mike putting the cone back up, or picking the cone up.
He's holding it up. That's the time penalty.
Cheers, Mike. Meanwhile, on the chat, Glasgow is in town, baby, says Ian McLean. Does that mean they've got through scrutineering, I wonder? UMD just posted their best lap time of 1:22.76, getting pacier and pacier. 8 laps completed, on their 9th. And oh no, look what this is. Yet again, the hybrid crawling to a stop from Italy. Modena, the hybrid team, having issues as the scrutineers and the marshals head over to have a conversation with the driver.
They've got 60 seconds to get the car restarted, otherwise it will mark as a DNF for that team.
The scrutineers and the marshals cannot touch the car within those 60 seconds, otherwise it will be a DNF. One of the marshals having a conversation with the driver, trying to work out what to do here as UMD have slowed down to go past. That's going to slow their lap times down again, gutting for this team, who really are looking nice and consistent at UMD. Yellow flagged to ensure, and they've got to pull in to let Modena pass. Modena now under power again. Don't know what happened there. It didn't look like they just went away. It was like the power came back immediately. UMD had to slow down to let them get back ahead. Very interesting.
He's cutting. It kept cutting off. I did notice that Modena car kept cutting off.
And there's some very aggressive driving from the first driver behind the wheel for endurance for the Modena hybrid. They've already clipped one cone, squeezing the power as much as they can, getting the tail out a little bit. The best time from them is it's a 1:07. Added 50 seconds with that drop in power all of a sudden. You can't take your eyes off this for 1 minute. The weather has significantly improved. The drama still peaking. UMD crossed the line with a time of 1:38, completing lap 9. Oh, a tyre squeal there from Modena around the hairpin. They are really pushing it. Clearly not entirely fussed about that inconsistent power unit in the back. And Down Under Gaming says hello from Down Under.
It seems to me that the Modena driver, it seems to be the similar the place where the engine keeps cutting off. So it might be the characteristic of the corner, maybe, potentially.
Sweeping down to, you can hear the tyre squeal coming off the Modena car. That's a great angle there as they come flying past the tyre wall, across the line with a time of 1:02. Wow, 1:02.16. That's faster than anything set during sprint yesterday, and endurance is a slower course. My days. Who's driving the Modena car? The Stig?
Bearing in mind the track was damp yesterday, it was very wet, whereas today it's pretty much dry with some damp patches. That's probably why.
Elsewhere, UMD come across the line to complete their 10th lap with a time of 1:19, their best time thus far. They are headed towards a driver change. So efficient and calm are the UMD team. They're just getting on with it. We're busy talking about the Modena car and the exuberant driving going on there. But meanwhile, you're on board on the stream with UMD, who are headed towards a driver change as if it's just a walk in the park.
Yes, there will be the driver change very soon. They've done 10 laps so far. Their best lap time already was a 1:19.6. Modena across the line. 1 minute 1.0. We could see a sub 60-second lap from the Modena hybrid team.
This is utter madness. We are 1 second away from breaking the 60-second barrier. In endurance, we don't see this usually. At least I haven't seen this myself. Last year feels like a very long time ago, especially when you've done it Masters. If there were faster times last year, do please correct us here in the box going through the slalom. RUMD, that red light consistently flashing on the roll hoop. The power, nice and consistent. The driver, cool, calm and collected. But on the approach now, I can see just crossing past us is the Modena hybrid. UMD have just completed the second hairpin at the top of the course. Modena could catch UMD before their driver changed. UMD crossed the line to complete their 11th lap with a time of 1:19. Yet again, not exactly 0.3 of a second slower than their last. They found that sweet spot, has the driver from Modena. Meanwhile, what's the time from Modena? 1:02, not exactly as fast as 1:01. The UMD driver, one more lap to complete, I think, before they have their driver change. Will be the first driver change today. You're on board with them now. It looks so much faster when you can see the driver's view of the track, of the road from the car. Rather pleased I'm not behind the wheel because I just stalled it off the line. Even an electric car, I don't think I could manage, but clearly the UMD driver can, and in impeccable style, tasteful driving from the UMD driver.
And they've only been
Modena on the approach then, rocketing along. This is ridiculous in endurance to see someone of this pace just going for it, full send, and no cones thus far. One cone thus far, I've stand corrected.
But that was on one of their faster laps, I believe. But
and you can see here on your screens, you can probably see it on Cops as well if you're live. Modena go through, UMD pull out the way. UMD have got the black checkered flag, and they pull in for their driver change. The black and white is out for UMD for their driver change. You can see them pulling into the pits, directed by the Dynamics volunteers in purple. You can see their team member there in pink. The power cut. Congratulations to the Germans who have completed the first half of endurance. Very well done indeed. Brilliant stuff. You can see now the drivers swapping out, getting that first driver undone in their seatbelts, getting the second driver helping out. It's all about teamwork, and they're doing a very good job of it. The stream going mad for UMD. Someone else saying, Modena, please finish it. Good luck, Modena. Modena says, Michelle. Modena.
1:04.09 was their last.
Through those final few corners, past that hairpin, and towards the really tight right-hander. There's that little straight that just encourages drivers to really put the power on. Then all of a sudden, there's a 90-degree turn. It's 1:01.50 for their 10th lap from Italy. Not quite their best, but not full send mode.
Full commitment mode, and I really like to see it. I think I saw a glimpse of it in the paddock earlier on. And this is a lot better for them compared to yesterday as well, so we know roughly.
That car is right on the limit. You can see it twitching in every corner as the power is just put right on the limit, braking late, power early.
Up to the line.
What is the time going to be? This could be good. And it's a 1 minute! 1 minute! Near enough dead from Modena. The Italians are very pleased with that.
I hear a few cheers in the grandstand. It's really great to see.
That
one more
power
lap.
though, hang on.
Yeah, it's cutting off once again. Uh-oh. Oh, it stopped
there,
again!
yeah. That, you can hear it. Just listen to that. The revs going up and down and up and down. I stand corrected. That might be another car getting ready to go out. But Modena clearly having power issues. That just does not sound healthy from the hybrid. It's a very unique powertrain, and all of a sudden that power has just dropped right off, hasn't it? We've seen the pace, a 60-second time, but I don't think I don't recall.
They're going very slowly.
That is very slow indeed. On what is their 12th lap? This will be the last lap this driver does before coming in for a driver change, and all of a sudden the car is looking very, very poorly. I like that, Taizan. Someone's commented on the stream saying that Modena car is a glass cannon.
I like that saying as well, I'm not going to lie.
That's a very, very apt description of this car from Italy. It's running on its electric motor, hence the change in the noise coming out of that power unit. It was mighty.
I think we can hear
Meanwhile,
Reds.
it sounds to me like Bolton are revving up and taking their place on the start line. Great to see Bolton here as Modena crawl along. Very uncharacteristic from them. Bolton brought up to the line. Black and white flag out from Modena. They've got their driver change. Will we see them again, though? Currently running on only electric power, seriously inhibited. The time down to a whole 1:57. That's going to be 2 minutes, a whole minute. Bolton revving up and away for their first lap of endurance. Loving the tyre choice from Bolton. Thank you very much for that brilliant nod, I hope. Oh, a big backfire there from Bolton. Wow.
I like that car. I like the way they designed the front wing as well, but we haven't seen him in the sprint, so we'll see how they tackle this technical demanding track currently as well. I hear some more revs currently as well, and I think we got the 110 going on the start line, so they're good to go for their second driver to do their 12 laps. So we're keeping our fingers crossed for them. 22 kilometres is how long the teams have to complete, 11 kilometres for each driver. Very conservative from University of Bolton currently, it looks like. But
and look at this, UMP off for their second stint. Congratulations to the team from Germany. The driver, yet again, just taking a cautious pace. We know the approach the Germans are taking, a sighting lap for the driver and then consistently improving across the course. A cautious approach as well from Bolton. Huge love for them. In the comments, Lily E, go Bolton. Ian McLean says Bolton are about to smoke Modena. Meanwhile, Taizan says Bolton, let's go. Up the blue beast, says Jonathan. And Kraken says good luck, Bolton. They're on track now. You can see them on your screens there, going through the final few corners of their first lap of endurance. What is the time going to be then? Across the line they go with a time of 1:28.39. Getting the power down there before the first corner are the guys and girls from Bolton. Meanwhile, in front of the commentary box, double denim's back. Well, there's some denim, not all denim.
It seems to me that everyone on their first runs take it more conservatively, wants to get out of the track, and after that they push even harder, and that's what we're seeing Bolton doing at the moment, and they're doing a similar approach to what we saw UMD, and that's how well UMD are doing currently right now, as UMD is also going through the slalom as well, but that's why we're riding on board now.
Interestingly enough, the only car not to take it cautious on that first lap was Modena, and well, we've seen them having the most issues of any track car we've seen out on track thus far.
Exactly.
I've sent Monty out to have a bit of a scout and work out whether the Italians will be returning to the track. Meanwhile, UMD quite happy to just cross the line with a time of 1:53. Their driver, brand new to the circuit, hasn't driven it before, just working out a blue flag out for them as Bolton are on the approach with a much faster car. You can hear it, just the power down. Their best time of 1:21.93. UMD blue flag to let Bolton pass. Nicely done from everyone involved, nice and clean. And oh dearie me, because Bolton have just gone past and then stopped, which is not what you want to see. The driver head down, gone through the cones. Is that an off for Bolton? Looking like the driver head down in the cockpit, trying to work out what's gone on there. UMD casually driving past. Sunday afternoon drive for them. German efficiency at its finest. Extreme, going to be very disappointed with this sudden lack of power for Bolton.
Yeah, it looks like they're just driving, going on a summer holiday, you know. And it looks like Modena are, I think, waiting to get going again, so that is good news. The red light is on for them, and their second driver's about to get stuck. Green light is on, revs are flashing, and we are go. Modena is back on the circuit. That is great for them.
Sounding to me like the IC unit in that hybrid is back. A yellow flag out for them as they crawl on past the stranded Bolton. Not sure what's happened to them. You can see as Modena go past, Bolton stranded there for whatever reason. Go UMD, German efficiency at its finest indeed, says Alexa. Meanwhile, Sploddy says, can we get a shout out for Rowan McLean, please? Big 21 yesterday. Happy 21st birthday, Rowan. Bexby says, go on, Bolton. David Ruggiero points out that Modena are the only hybrid car on track. They are indeed, and you can see there they're coming past Bolton, who are being wheeled away. That's gutting. That is Bolton out then. The marshals touching the car, meaning that is a DNF for Bolton. Gutting for the Blue Beast. A round of applause, please, for Bolton. Getting a car out on track at any point in FS UK is difficult, so a huge congratulations to them for getting this far. Heartbreak, though, at this stage. Gibbo wants a shout out to Bill Cosgrove, who is apparently an absolute legend. The fact that Gibbo's been spending time talking to my dad is terrifying, but anyway. Those who know, those who don't need to. Modena then crossing the line for the first time with their second driver behind the wheel. What is the time gonna be? A 1:26.93, a severely more conservative approach from the second driver from Italy. Lily E saying, we love you, Bolton. Yeah, heartbreak for them as they managed to only complete 2 laps. They were on their third before the power units went away. You can see there on your screens, Modena looking to be back on the power a little more as the driver gets to grips with the circuit. Their second driver behind the wheel. Meanwhile, UMD just getting on with it. They're on their 16th lap. Their best is 1:19. But at this stage, especially with an electric power unit, efficiency on that is going to be absolutely spot on. So if they finish this, they know they're just going to do well anyway. It doesn't necessarily need to be the fastest thing in the world. The Italians, meanwhile, quite happy to be very exuberant as Moderna approach UMD yet again, this time with the second drivers behind the wheel of both cars. You can see the 2 cars there on your screens as they go through the hairpin, looking nice and tidy there for Modena, as UMD cross the line in front of the commentary box, heading on to their next lap. Their 17th lap is complete. It was their 16th lap, I should say, with a time of 1:45. Modena right down to 1:14, halving that deficit as the driver got to grips with the track. And UMD pulling away, Modena flying on through. They've completed 15 laps, have Modena. Their 16th is in progress.
You have a comment in the chat saying, from Jack London, saying, fair play to our team at Bolton, first time to pass scrutineering. So they haven't passed scrutineering up until this point. So I think just to get on the track is still quite amazing. Even though they didn't finish endurance, they still managed to make their way onto the track. Good confidence for next year. They may be disappointed that they didn't make it through endurance, but they got past scrutineering. That's the most crucial bit. So well done to Bolton. I think they can come with their head held high. As Moderna going up again, more conservative approach this time around, going through the hairpin, very tight from them as they want to try and finish this endurance event. 25 points are on offer if you do complete endurance for your university as well. 110.5 for Modena, that's a lot better than them. As we've got UMD coming up to the line as well.
Oh, here we go again. This is beginning to look a little familiar. I'll give you one guess what's happened. Modena have stopped, and they've got going again.
They must have stalled.
What is going on? It's fast, it's rapid, but it's not consistent either.
And the 110 up the line, it's a 1:42.8.
So we should point out, just here in the comms box, some of the lap times. But once they go in, they're down a lap on what we're seeing. So UMD currently on their 16th lap, have completed 16 laps, are in the progress of their 17th. Modena have completed 15, so there we are. But what is going on with Modena? Everyone wants an answer, and the man who has the answer is Monty. So Monty, pray tell, what on earth is going on?
Thank you, Giles. Morning, everyone. Hope you're all enjoying it. So, I've just been having a chat with the Modena team to find out what's happening. In short, it's an ECU matter. It's engine mapping. They're right on the limit of, with regards to the fuel, as to what the engine can do. So, every now and then, we're watching it getting a bit too rich as it comes out of the slow corner. It chokes itself to death and stalls. I've been having a chat with them just to find out more about this engine, because obviously it's one of the only hybrid entries we have. But it's an unusual one because on paper it's a V-twin. but only one of the cylinders are working because the other half of it is using the electric motor. So V-twin, one cylinder, ECU, petrol mapping, everything like that on the absolute limit. Very, very ingenious. We've never seen anything like this before. So, you know, 10 out of 10 for creativity and for the engineering solutions into this car, because it really has impressed all of the design judges. But that old cliche, it's been designed and built by students, and here's the end product that we're seeing on the track at the moment. Kind of reminder, guys, these are all prototypes, essentially, all built by students. So, as I say, it's fantastic to see how creative they get. And I really hope this isn't the only time we see this engine, because there's so much developmental potential in this engine in the years to come. But yeah, a couple of teething troubles with engine mapping, and that's why we're seeing them splutter to a halt every now and then.
And the most important thing is they're learning every time they go on the track what is wrong, so they can improve for future endurances, and they can come back next year fighting, as we've got Modena going up to finish their next lap, 1 minute 9.56.
That's the best time for the second driver from Modena, and I am absolutely stunned by the engineering in that power unit. That is ridiculous.
Crazy.
That's only the Italians. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant. There's love on the stream for that power unit setup.
Yeah,
so
quite a lot.
Absolutely fantastic. We know, meanwhile, that Cheryl, who is part of our presenter team, is looking forward to seeing OBR, Oxford Brooks Racing, out on track. So a good morning to Cheryl and Matt. And Matt supporting Swansea.
Paddy saying, let's go Monty.
Can you wish my friend Dixie an enormous happy birthday from Cardiff, says Foxzoom. Yes, of course we can. UMD, not far away from completing endurance, also not far away from the front of Modena, who are approaching again for yet another overtake. Two very different approaches here from the German and Italian teams. The Germans pull in, the Italians go by. Green flags out on circuit as Modena fly on through, followed by UMD, both now on the same number of laps. But you can see the difference. It's 20 seconds between the two teams. Modena, the time there of 1:13. 1:44 for UMD, but with the efficiency, I'd be interested in this. What's going to be more efficient then, the hybrid or the full electric power unit? Squealing through the hairpin. Go Modena.
And sometimes it's not just about the fastest car in endurance, it's whether you can get it to the end. As we got so a lot of love for Harriet Watt as well. No cars just vibes apparently. And someone's asking if there's any live timing info. All the results will be posted online after the event tonight, so after the awards concluded as well. And Bergmeister said, can we get a shout out for all the women at FSUK? There's quite a lot of women volunteers as well taking part, and also some women in the teams as well. And there was a Diversity and Inclusion Award that took place yesterday as well, hosted by Racing Pride and Aston Martin. And what was their last lap for Modena? 1:10.4. So slowly getting back to the time that they set them. Again, they just want to get to the end.
Both of these teams look then to be able to complete endurance, one faster than the other by a fair margin. Modena squealing their way around that top hairpin at the top of Copse Corner, looking absolutely rapid. Only, as I have it, I reckon there's two or three laps left for both drivers to complete endurance. Thus far, Bolton, the first and only DNF.
They teach you the map.
Yes, okay, so that's really interesting. The mapping crucial to the power unit behind Modena, driving them forward, rear power there, and they have detuned the map, making it less rich on the fuel with the hopes of finishing endurance. And I must say, there's only been one stoppage from them so far, and it was very brief, crossing the line with a time of 1:07. You can see the effect that change in the map is having on the times, because the car is still looking rapid and looking on the ragged edge of what it's capable of, but we can see then the effect that the change in map is having on the lap times, not close to the best time from them, which is a 60 seconds, near enough dead.
Don't forget, each lap of the endurance event is individually timed, so the correct elapsed time is determined by subtracting the extra long lap for the driver change from the total time and adding any penalties they got for cones, which a few teams have had so far in this endurance event. Not long to go till both teams will complete endurance and they will secure themselves 25 points already before the final points get totted up.
So those 25 points are a baseline for anyone who completes endurance. Talking of completing endurance, UMD looking very nice though on your screens, completing with time of 1:33 on their last lap. They're on their penultimate laps now. Both teams, and oh, that's just a pull in. That is just a pull in. UMD, you had me worried for a second.
Yeah, you had me worried earlier on as well. I was like, oh, they start to might. No, they're just letting each other through.
Modena, rapid.
1:05 with their
UMD consistent.
On their final run now, Modena, currently through Cox Corner. You're watching the 25th anniversary of FS UK this year, 2023. We've had the dynamic events yesterday in the wet, but it is nice and sunny here at Silverstone as well.
At the moment, I would say driver number 1 for Modena could be on track for the most entertaining driver award, because exuberant doesn't even come close.
Exactly. They've got a few more elements of the track to go, going through the hairpin very tight from the Modena car. And this is the last lap, and it's probably going to be cheers in the grandstand up to the line.
Yeah, they've got one more lap to complete.
One more lap.
One more lap through the first corner of the last lap for Modena. We weren't sure whether they get this far. The power unit, experimental and highly tuned, right on the limit of what it's capable of. No, 2 more laps. I knew it was.
So lap 13 was the pits apparently, so what we can see will be 25 laps, I believe.
We're getting used to this.
Yeah.
Usually we have Andrew Mather guiding us in here. Unfortunately, he wasn't available, so you're going to have to do with us two instead.
He's at Cadwell Park this weekend.
He is indeed. Do stick with us, though, because, I mean, forget Lewis Hamilton's first pole in years. This is where it's at. Modena look to be crossing the line for endurance in a brilliant way, because if you'd wound the clock back 10 minutes ago, I don't think we'd get to this point. Modena then, with their impressive hybrid unit, and UMD with a full electric unit in the back of their car, calm, cool, collected, taking it like it's no big deal. No big deal. Crossing the line then go Modena with a time of 1:04, and back on the pace is the team from Italy. You can see on your screens there, UMD likely to get caught yet again by Modena, and that is going to affect both of their lap times. It's the reason why sprint is so crucial to endurance, because as teams get more competitive, their lap times start affecting their results in endurance, and you do not want to be held up by a slower car, and nor do you really want to be pulling in every 5 minutes to be overtaken by the faster car, which is why it's run in reverse order in endurance. For those that qualified in sprint, the slower cars go first, and then you make your way towards the faster car, so everyone's of a very similar pace. And we saw a lot of that. There were a lot of cars bunched in the 110s, a lot of cars bunched in the 107s. Remember, conditions yesterday not nearly as good as they are today. In fact, probably the most appalling I've seen out on track in my experience. The UMD team member encouraging their driver to put their foot down a little bit.
Checker flag is waved for the 38. They've completed endurance. Cheers in the grandstand for them. We thought that their car would never make it to finish, but their determination, their grit to make sure their car was running even with the technical issues, and they've done it. Their fastest time right now is a 1:0.5, and they've got 25 points in the bag from the get-go.
Absolutely stunned. They're over the moon with that. The Dynamics volunteer shaking hands with the driver there. They're going to be pleased with that. Yes, they are. The yellow jumpsuit flying up in the air as the teams celebrate the Rebel Alliance symbol from Star Wars on their helmet. And they really did skywalk their way to finishing endurance. Thank you very much, ladies. I was rather pleased with that as well.
Can we give them some extra points for just not giving up?
None of these teams are giving up. Not a single team here today will give up until they've done everything they can to get their car out on track. Talking about on track, UMD are off. Hot favourites against Oxford Brookes to take the win here at Formula Student UK 2023. And talking of Oxford Brookes, they crossed the line here in front of the commentary box, setting a time of 1:08. Lap 14 complete, lap 15 in progress.
And I think the driver of Staffordshire, I think, is going to be absolutely delighted when he gets out of the car. He's not even out the car yet. He's so excited. But we've got Modena
on your screens then. Now this we know is a fast car, but it's not looking to me like a massively exuberant lap. We saw it from their hybrid team, some of the most exciting driving we've seen all weekend, but that car's looking
a lot slower than yesterday, it looks like, even though we were in the wet conditions. So I wonder, sight a lap?
Yeah, I was going to say potentially the driver getting accustomed to the conditions, the car, the circuit layout. Through that final chicane, down the last straight, round the final right-hander, across the line, with a time then of 1:05.64. Looks slow, is fast from Modena.
Some of the other teams though, so still it's probably going to be even quicker and quicker yet, as we still got more teams on the circuit. They could be blue flagged soon.
Little bit of torque steer, well held from the driver behind the wheel of the number 2 car from UE. They had a little bit of a power problem earlier. It doesn't seem to have come back to haunt them as yet. I really hope it doesn't. Based in Bristol, the University of West of England, a fantastic team. It's getting a bit twitchy through there. The tail out, well held by the driver, down past the tyre wall, through that last straight, round the right-hander. What time can UE post now then? They're in for their driver change. In for their driver change come UE. Absolutely brilliant.
And speaking of driver changes, Strathclyde, they're about to go on the track again with their second driver.
Modena going through first. Modena need to get that right. I'm not Italian, I'm from Somerset. And away goes Strathclyde for their second stint, the electric car from Scotland. Their best time thus far, a 1:02.52. The power issues they had earlier twice had our hearts in our mouths here in the comms box.
And in the live chat as well. I think there was a lot of hearts in people's mouths, I think. These Oxford Brookes going past our commentary box a bit slower than we would expect him, but again, keeping conservative as they want to complete endurance, but it's about the total elapsed time. Sharman saying, let's go, Brookes. A lot of support for Oxford Brookes in the chat, and Modena as well. And let's go, Strathclyde. Scotland's first EV putting the laps in. That is true. I would like to see more Scottish teams. Glasgow, maybe in the future, in a couple of years, we would like to see a team from them, as Strathclyde taking it very nicely through the slalom, a bit slower than expected. But they just want to get a team across the finish line up to the end. Helga saying, come on, Strap, you can do it.
Really
and Tony says, go Tor, go Brookes. So it is Tor in the car for Oxford Brookes. You can tell with the helmet that they've got on the car. Strathclyde comes up to the line. And it is a 1:02.5. No, that was their best lap, 1:23.58 for them so far. Not long to go. They've done 13 laps so far of endurance. The closest time to get to finish endurance so far will be Oxford Brookes. They've done 17 laps so far, but Strathclyde looking to do what Modena's hybrid car are doing and keeping going. That's the important thing. You get points just by keeping going, and don't forget you do get points for the efficiency side as well. Oxford Brookes, 17 laps done so far, 1:14.9 for them.
Not the news that Oxford Brookes would have wanted. They've got an inverter issue. They're effectively on two-wheel drive.
That's why
and the green light is on for Oxford Brookes Racing.
That's
the hands are in the face. Vito has hands over his eyes. I don't believe what I'm seeing. Jess, is this real?
They were looking so good all weekend, no problems at all for Oxford Brookes.
And there are their closest rivals. There is Modena having a whale of a time.
What's that? Sub 1 minute 59.31 for Modena.
The driver climbing out of Oxford Brookes' car.
That means they're
walking
out.
away. It's all over for Oxford Brookes Racing.
They've done 17 laps, so 17 points for them.
Strathclyde.
Strathclyde has stopped as well. What on earth's going on?
No, they're just, it's an overtake. It's an overtake, I think. Is it an
No,
overtake?
it's not. No, it's not.
Yui back on track. It's all happening here. Strathclyde have stopped. Oxford Brookes are a DNF.
Modena's fastest by a sub.
Some way are Modena the fastest by 3 seconds. Then again, what did we expect?
Exactly, as UWE passes Strathclyde. This is not good so far. A lot of support for Wolverhampton as well, even though they didn't complete endurance, they're still proud, and that was Liz Fox. Modena, not much pressure now, but they still got to beat Staffordshire's time. That is the fastest time so far, 29.57. Modena looking insanely quick in that number 37, but it's got to be consistent.
Modena then, you're looking at the car that if they finish, Endurance will win Formula Student UK 2023. The Italians are flying across the circuit. Their time there.
1 minute 4.23. Their last lap before that was a 59.7, so they had 2 laps in the 59. Strathclyde's going back on circuit, that's always good.
Strathclyde back under their own power then. A car that isn't the shock of the weekend. A team that have been looking so strong. That's cones gone for Yui. There's a smattering of cones gone. 2 marshals needed to pick up the cones that Yui have just left strewn across the track.
4-second time penalty for them, UWE, but yeah, Oxford Brookes finished in the top 3 in all events. This could be the first event where they DNF, which it is, but they still going to get points anyway. Will that affect their podium position?
It really will. I really will be interested to see the results here. Oh, that's a bit interesting. Strathclyde holding up Modena. Modena unwilling to give them any space. That's a little much, isn't it? You know you're going to get the blue flag. There we go. Strathclyde in. Modena flying past like a bat out of hell. But it's a little aggressive, I think, from the Italians when they know they've got the pace. Even I can see that, and I'm no driver.
We were just chatting to Monty, and even Monty couldn't believe that Oxford Brookes were out of this.
7. We're just having a conversation with the media officer from Strathclyde who's trying to work out how many laps his team's got left. We've got the lap times here, somewhat wasted on us because no one else can see them, so we've got all eyes on us. We're trying to do our best in keeping you informed. Modena flying round, knocking on the doors constantly of the minute. That's another sub-minute time from Modena, 59.89. They're on their 8th lap, 7 complete. Meanwhile, Strathclyde have completed 15 laps. They're on their 16th currently. They need to complete 24. Modena flying around with complete and total commitment, unwilling to give a hair's width to anyone else on track. We saw them get right up into the rear of Strathclyde as they went for that pass. Blue flagged immediately by the marshals.
Where's Coventry?
It's a good question. Yui we're looking at right now. Yui
I saw them waiting, but they're not there now.
Yui on their 15th lap, looking to cross the line, going through that final chicane, past the tyre wall, round the tight right-hander to complete lap 15 for the University of the West of England with a time of 1:05.95. Not quite their fastest, but still a very, very good pace from the University of West of England. Talking of pace, Strathclyde, I'm winning them on, Monty. There have been a couple of power issues. What's going on?
no, Giles. To the outside world, it looks like power issues. Inside the cockpit, it's driver issues, not power issues at all. There's an inertia switch inside there, and they keep on bouncing off it, so they're essentially switching off the car. That's why we've been seeing them stop. So they're not actually worried at the moment with the car. It's just it's purely just the driver knocking that switch and they're having to turn it back on. And I wouldn't be surprised if what we've just seen... Yes, and I wouldn't be surprised if what we've just seen happen at the second part of this is a repetition of that, and the driver just having to remember, there's a switch there, quickly back on again.
Yeah, thank goodness.
They're not panicking, so I don't think we should be either.
That is a relief for Strathclyde, not a car issue, a driver issue, so they're still able to keep going.
Yui on the way, Strathclyde coming past here in the commentary box. I care about everyone at this point.
So do
really
I want them to finish.
Crossing the line go Yui for another lap. Onto their 17th lap, that time 106.33. Knocking on the door of finishing endurance yet again for the second time in 2 years. Modena flying past.
58.550.
They are in a different league, are the Italians?
They are.
What is in the water in Italy, and how do I get hold of some?
Honestly, I found out about what they were doing this weekend, and it's absolutely insane. This is the FS class that you're seeing right now. And also the AI
we've
class
got a bit of traffic here. Sorry to interrupt you, Jess, but Strathclyde pulling in as Modena and Yui go past Strathclyde. But we know Yui are also slower than Modena, and we also know Modena give no quarters. And they... Oh, hang on a minute. Modena trying to get past in a place that they can't, I think. And I think they may have missed a cone on the slalom there in impatience to get past Yui. I could be wrong, and do please correct me if I am, but that looked to me, there we go, that's where you overtake in the blue zone.
100% confirmed, as we just been told.
That's a little bit hairy from the Italians, isn't it?
They've been so consistent all weekend.
Modena then, missing a cone in the slalom in an effort to get past Yui in a place where they can't. You know, to paraphrase the old joke, you can't pass there, mate.
No, you can't. You really can't. Oh, Strathclyde has stopped again. I wonder if it's about the switch as well.
Come on, Strathclyde.
Come on, Strathclyde. Get the car going.
Fingers, toes, and all other appendages crossed in the commentary box as Modena prove they can do the slalom correctly when there's not a car in front of them. Going round that hairpin, look at the racing line. They know exactly what they're doing, these Italians. Checkered flag for Modena then. In they go. Driver 1 out, driver 2 in.
And I think it is a drive issue once again for Strathclyde, so they are going again. They do not have long to go until they complete an endurance. UWE is on the same lap as them, I believe.
See, the thing is with these cars is they're really tight. There's not a lot of room in the cockpit, so any vibrations and you feel it in your body and your elbow goes out and it hits a switch, that's completely understandable. You're driving around in a glorified bathtub on wheels. There's no room in these things. Then you've got to wrestle with the controls.
Start to worry.
And the best thing to do is get your elbows out, and Strathclyde clearly can't because of the position of that switch. Strathclyde then, not worried. We are in the commentary box. I feel like an anxious mother watching all of these cars go past. But more to the point, they are on their 19th lap. Their best time is a 1:02. Currently set a time of 1:21 on the last lap through the slalom. Looking a little slower. Are Strathclyde just trying to, I imagine, keep off that switch with their elbows?
Yep, it looks like it as well. So they have been told to do so by the marshals, and it's about, I think it's about the 4th time that their car was stopped. But hopefully this is the last time as UWE crosses the line.
So we've got an update from Monty. Be very interested to hear this one.
Issues.
Right, Joe, I was just having a read through the books there and just got it confirmed by one of the dynamic team members there. So when you miss a cone on the slalom, that technically counts as an off-track. So that's a 10-second penalty we've just witnessed with Modena. 10-second penalty for that missed cone on the slalom.
10-second penalties if you miss a cone in the slalom. That's huge.
10-second penalty for missing a cone on the slalom. Laps to go for Strathclyde, looking to me to be about 4, I think.
Roughly about 4-5.
Strathclyde then, plenty of anxiety going round here in the comms box. Plenty of anxiety on the pit wall as well. Can they get across the line with an ill-placed switch? That's all that stands between them and finishing Endurance as things stand.
I want to find out what's happened to Coventry, to be honest, because we were expecting them like 10, 15 minutes ago, and we haven't seen them.
Coventry were indeed
They were
a
fastest.
team that didn't even expect to be in the position they were when they completed sprint. There goes Yui past the Coventry box. University of the West of England, a time of 1:06. Very close to finishing Endurance are Yui. Strathclyde not far behind them as they go past the tyre wall through that tight right-hander and across the line with a 1:19.78.
They've done 20 laps so far, 21 in total, and if they can keep this up, they will be on course for 25 points, as Modena is going to be starting very soon. That is good news. Green light is on. Oh, this is still a little bit, and they're going. The second driver is there. This is odd. This is way quick off the line.
Full
Very
send
quick.
from Modena. And Yui stopped.
Oh,
I
no!
can't believe what I'm seeing. Yui have stopped. Marshall's guiding the car round the track. Strathclyde going through there. It won't be long before Modena arrive as well. This is at the top end of the course, right past that first hairpin. The yellow flags are out. Modena will have to slow down on what was a monumental start off the line for driver number 2. Guided past the stricken Yui car by the Marshals. I get the feeling, seeing the Modena car behind you must be what drivers feel like when Max Verstappen's lapping them in the Formula 1. Absolute intimidation.
I can see that currently, yes, but don't worry, we're not giving you any spoilers for Formula 1. We can watch that later on.
Forget the Formula 1. I'm far more interested in this. And Strathclyde have stopped blocking Modena. Got a funny feeling Modena will not be happy about that.
Modena will be allowed to go off circuit just so they can get past them. That's in the rules.
It is in the rules. What wasn't in the rules is missing a cone on the slalom, but there we are. Anyway,
yeah, exactly,
back on a time
yeah.
that the driver won't be happy with that time. That time is a 1:15, which is nowhere near as quick as we know that car can go. And Yui just stuck.
Yeah, they literally got the car going and then they stopped. Strathclyde stopped as well.
It's a great place to stop for the cameras, but I don't think the teams want to be stopped. Strathclyde moving again.
There we go.
A yellow flag out for Yui. I don't believe what I'm seeing. A team that's been so consistent.
Please get going. Come on.
They completed a full distance of endurance at one of the European Formula student events. They were disqualified on a technicality, and it's looking now like they will fail to finish FS UK. The Marshals getting close to the car, slowing down the Modena car, really telling them the Marshals slow down. There we go.
Uh-oh. Happened again.
The Marshals having a conversation, trying to guide Modena around the Yui car. Onto the grass go Modena.
It's been my thing. It's getting close at 60
They're cutting that hairpin,
Giles.
which is... Are they going to cut the hairpin? Yes, Modena will cut the hairpin in order to get past the stricken Yui car, which is currently in a rather difficult position. Through that final chicane go Modena.
And they touch the car.
Yeah,
they're
that's
out.
all over for the University of West of England. Second place finishers last year. I really thought at the beginning of this week that Yui would have this.
That is a shame, but bravo for them doing 21 laps. Strathclyde has completed 20 laps.
Strathclyde on their 22nd lap currently. Modena flying around. Interesting then that the hot favourites Oxford are out, other favourites Yui out, and Modena not exactly winning themselves any prizes with a 10-second penalty for not completing the slalom correctly, having grown impatient, stuck behind Yui. Strathclyde crossed the line to complete lap 22. On to lap 23 with a 1:32.30. Round the final hairpin already are Modena. They go past the tyre wall and round. Black flagged. A black flag for Modena. The internal combustion car from Modena has been black flagged and disqualified, and that is monumental. This blows FS UK 2023 wide open. Not been disqualified. I stand corrected and can only apologise. I was misinformed. Not disqualified, but only black flagged.
So do they have to wait by the pits then?
I've never seen a black flag at FS, Jess. I've never seen a black flag.
I've never as well.
Not black flagged, but certainly getting a stern talking to from the marshals.
Must be about the cones.
There's been some aggressive driving from Modena. Meanwhile, whilst that's all going on...
Strathclyde's about to finish.
Exactly.
They've got 2 laps to go.
Exactly, Strathclyde about to finish their penultimate lap, whilst the drama of all dramas, hot favourites Modena, have been black flagged and are currently in discussion. I was told by Monty that meant a disqualification, but no, I'm reliably informed in my ear that is not the case. As it stands, Modena have not been disqualified, but have been black flagged and are currently having a chat with the marshals. Wouldn't want to be part of that, but anyway, Strathclyde coming across the line then to start their final lap of endurance.
The Modena car, it was the hybrid car, had exactly the same problems as Strathclyde, and they still keep going. I think everyone in the crowd is just anxiously waiting to see if they can do it. And we are in the commentary box. Come on, Strathclyde, finish this endurance. You will do amazing.
They really will get a huge haul of points.
Huge haul of points. Strathclyde are looking good anyway.
Remarkably well across the week, but just kind of gone under the radar compared to some of the top teams like Oxford, Brookes and Modena. And all of a sudden we're seeing a team here who have just been quietly getting on with it. And that
like UMD
is
earlier
how
on.
you do it. That is exactly how you do it. Modena allowed to restart. I wonder what that black flag was for.
I wonder what time gets deducted. We'll find out soon. As we will find out in the commentary box, but Strathclyde, past our commentary box, Modena is getting out on circuit once again. Through the slalom, looking really nice. Even though their time might be so compared to everybody else, they have at least kept going.
Garage 12E pit lane for Glasgow and Birmingham for the historic car parade. 12E for Birmingham and Glasgow. Right now, though, the checkered flag is out for the Scots. The electric car crosses the line, and University of Strathclyde, car 115, finish endurance with a time of 36.5943.
Oh, they just missed out on the podium by 3 seconds. But that does mean I think we just have one car on the circuit. Well, tip one car on the circuit, don't we? Modena?
Modena left out on circuit following that black flag.
So it's between Modena
Strathclyde over the moon with that result. The fastest car on track all the weekend is still here. Their endurance time will go up, I believe. Someone correct me in my ear if I'm wrong, but I believe that black flag time, the time they spent having a chat with the marshals, will be added to their endurance time. They spent 3 minutes having a conflab. Oh, kicking the tail out. They're trying to make up for lost time here. Coming into the view of the commentary box on the other side of the course are Modena. Flying round.
Really, it's between Modena and Staffordshire for the endurance total time win. Provisional.
It really is. Even with that black flag, can
I mean,
Modena,
it could still be possible.
Yeah, I think it might be. 29.57, the time set by Staffordshire, currently top in endurance. Flying past the tyre will go Modena. Across the line they go with a time of 55 seconds. Rapid, rapid, rapid. Go Modena through the chicane, headed towards that first slalom. All eyes on the blue and gold of the team.
Andrew saying Coventry didn't show. Yes, Coventry did not show.
No show for Coventry as yet. The event has got 25 minutes left to go, though. We will also have that historic run. Meanwhile, Monty has returned. It wasn't a DNF. I went out and said it was a DNF, and it wasn't a DNF. It was just a black flag. Why, Monty?
Yes, well, firstly, my apologies for that. That was false information I gave to Giles there, because it was MS UK. I thought black flag meant disqualification. Nope, they're using it in a different context here. In short, this is what they call an old-fashioned British bollocking. Driving standards is the reason they were brought in, to come have a chat and just make sure that the team are a little bit more respectful when coming into yellow flag zones, as it was putting unnecessary danger on other competitors and the marshals. But as you've seen already, guys, they're back out on the track. They're now catching up for lost time, And my goodness, a 55.8 is their fastest lap. My goodness, hope my ravioli, watch this.
They're the only car on track. They mean business. They want to make up for lost time. Staffordshire, I think, must be clinching everything.
Various parts.
Yeah, and so is Modena as well. Those two teams, I don't want to be sitting in anywhere if I was either one of those two teams.
Modena then, from the region of Italy that gave us Ferrari, the University of Modena, on track, car 37, their fastest time, a 55.8, flying past the tyre wall, round that tight right-hand corner, across the line, absolutely pegging it, a 55.36. On their 20th lap are Modena, 4 to complete. They're on their 21st lap. And all that stands between them, victory, possibly, in endurance, Staffordshire, with a time of 29.57 seconds in total. It all comes down to these 4 laps. A black flag of 3 minutes will have affected what was going to be an outrageously quick time in endurance, and the driver is just throwing the car through the corners, holding it steady as the tail kicks out. A fantastic line round that second right-hander, through the chicane, towards the tyre wall, round past that to the timing bed, past us in the commentary box. The time there, a 55.03. This is rapid from the Italians. The prancing horse doesn't know what's hit it. Maybe these guys should be giving some advice to the Ferrari F1 team.
If they finish, it looks like that we could see Modena win this overall. So even if they don't win at this event, they could be winning this overall, which is huge. Obviously, Oxford Brooks is out. Coventry, no show.
Yui out as well then. All eyes on the Modena team. Pronouncing that right, finally, through the chicane they go. Round the final hairpin of the circuit. Up towards the chicane, heading back towards the commentary box, coming into our vision now, past the tyre wall, through the right-hander, across the line. The time then, 54.97. It is just tumbling down. 22 laps completed, 23rd in progress, 24 to complete. Modena chasing the stopwatch, knowing, just throwing the car through the corners. The control the driver has here is undeniable. 29.57 set by Staffordshire, the time to beat.
We've been at it for an hour and a half now, which is absolutely insane.
Are we about to see the comeback
of all comebacks?
Of all comebacks, from a black flag to what could be the fastest time in endurance. Round the hairpin again, up towards the chicane. Through the chicane they go, past the tyre wall, through the tight right-hander at the top of the course, across the line. They are on to their final lap, I believe. A 54.73.
2 more laps.
2 more laps to go then.
Where? I swear that these drivers are putting a lot of practice for this. This car looks rapid. I don't know where the pace was in the run-up, but in the acceleration and in the sprint, they were looking good. They were also looking good in the skid pad as well.
We've heard things about this team. They nearly won FS Italy. Didn't finish endurance. They're looking like they're going to now. Through the slalom, the second and final slalom on the course, up round the final hairpin.
Brilliant. I think, do we start?
Round the hairpin they go, through the chicane. They're headed towards their final lap. The foot is planted.
1 more lap.
With a 55.25, slower for the first time in many, many laps.
But they don't care. It's about the consistency that's going to help them. 29.57 to beat. They want to be on the podium. They've got to beat at least a 33.14 for Leicester. It looks like they could beat them comfortably, but they've been looking quick all weekend. If they complete this and be on the podium, they'll be looking like to win the entire event of FS UK, which you can find the results for in the awards ceremony later on tonight. for the final time, going through the slalom. They can't afford to hit any cones. They've got to enter as many cones as they possibly can.
Round towards the final hairpin, the all-important corners left, through the chicane, then past the tyre wall. They've got a right-hander to do. This is going to be quick. We already know it. The checkered flag is out. But what is the final time for Modena? 29.20! Oh, 37 seconds faster than Staffordshire with a 3-minute black flag. And a 10-second penalty to add to that. Oh my days, I've not seen anything that quick.
They were pushing, even with the black flag, even with that 10-second penalty, your provisional...
Winners of FS UK.
Your provisional winners of FS UK and your provisional winners of endurance. Modena, the internal combustion car, the number 37, the team are delighted. Staffordshire in P2 and Cardiff Racing for competing their first endurance in 2 years. They take the final spot on the podium.
The Italians over the moon. You can see them there on Copse Corner. You're on camera. Give us a big wave. Give us a big cheer. The engineering in that car is something else, and the talent behind the wheel is godlike.
That was quick.